Son Goku. Is that all you can show?
Universe 7, Earth. At that moment on Earth, several things begin to happen. Gohan and Piccolo continue their training. Gohan says, Mr. Piccolo, it looks like things are totally different from now. In my father's absence, we have to save the Earth here. We've clearly faced Cell Max and several other extremely powerful warriors, but I'm sure our strength will increase even more. Vegeta also ended up disappearing from here. What's going on? I can't understand it. It seems that my father really took his God Killer task seriously. I don't know how it would be if Mr. Beerus or Mr. Whis himself decided to fight my father. At that moment, Piccolo says,
That's where you're wrong now. Perhaps this has already happened. Can you understand that Goku is not fighting for a bad cause? He's just wanting to protect those he always helped.
Gohan tries to understand what Piccolo was trying to say. Piccolo concludes,
I have long been of the family of evil. I fought your father before you were born, and at that time my life was linked with the god in the dragon spheres. On this planet, Kami-sama himself. Without thinking twice, I defeated Kami-sama. And Goku was the only hope. I could be considered a god at the time. I could do whatever I wanted, and whenever I wanted. But I ended up making other decisions, and everything ended up becoming something much more complicated. Can you understand now, Gohan? Maybe if Goku hadn't defeated me that day and still had the compassion to give me the senzu bean for me to recover, maybe you wouldn't even exist today. That was a totally surreal thing that ended up happening. Soon after, he ended up changing me and made all the other things end up joining him. Perhaps his goal as a god killer, even eliminating the gods of destruction, he still wants to bring them back one day and enter into an agreement. But that may have been the best way he could think of for things to happen in a peaceful way again.
Gohan just watches. Doesn't make sense what Piccolo was saying. At that time in the time chamber, Vegeta continues to carry out his training. Vegeta says,
If Kakarot believes he'll get stronger and stronger, then I will not stay behind. He is very strong. Now I will show that the great Vegeta will be able to reach unimaginable levels of strength. He thinks this God Killer power is very powerful skill. He didn't see anything. The great Vegeta with my Ultra Ego transformation will be able to defeat any enemy and show extremely gigantic skills because I am the Prince of all Saiyans, the most powerful being of all existence.
Vegeta continues training, right now on the planet Beerus. Does Beerus the Destroyer return alongside Whis to his planet? Whis starts to reflect and says, looks like things are getting a lot more intense, doesn't it? Gods of space, time, and war, unleashed in Universe 6. And on the other hand, we still have beings that are extremely powerful that keep causing trouble. If Son Goku wasn't defeated by me at the time, maybe I have to let him continue to act until we meet again. Oh, he really became more powerful. I think that after millennia, I will do something that I haven't done in a long time. Whis looks at Beerus and speaks. What do you intend to do, Mr. Beerus? At that moment, Beerus says,
Perform a new training in the Chamber of the Gods. Isn't that fantastic, Whis?
Observation. The Chamber of the Gods is similar to the Time Chamber, where the gods train in an empty dimension to become much more powerful. Beerus decided to undertake the new training. The god of destruction recognized the strength of the mortals and decided to become much stronger than he already is. What is Beerus up to? Hey, how's it going? Just here to remind you to click the like button, subscribe here to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss any videos and stay well inside our entire universe of Dragon Ball. Without further ado, let's get started. Universe 6, Goku vs. Ares. The battle keeps getting more and more intense, and all the participants start to be shocked to see several punches thrown from both parties. Goku doesn't flinch from the blows he's been taking from Ares, and Ares, smiling, also starts hitting Goku. Ares says,
If you think that with that power you will be able to defeat me, you are very mistaken. So if you don't decide to use your full form, I will finish you off. Show me the power you showed in the tournament ranking soon.
Goku starts to hesitate and tries to dodge the blows that were launched by Ares. At that moment, Ares was showing an entire different skill. Goku knew that Super Saiyan 2 wasn't enough to defeat him. After all, we were talking about the God of War. At this moment, Goku says,
Looks like there's no way. So now I'll have to use my divine power against you.
Goku activates the Super Saiyan Blue, and shortly after,
Kaioken times 20!
Ares is surprised and says,
What is this? He managed to increase his power exponentially several times. This transformation, this ki, he also became a god.
All the other Saiyans who were watching were stunned by what was happening. The tournament classifier says, Incredible! It seems that the mortal Kakarot can also raise his energy with the energy of a god! His strength is totally different! It seems that someone is fighting the height against the God of War Ares! Who will be the winner of this fight? Meanwhile, at King Sadala's palace, King Sadala watched everything that was happening and says,
That is amazing! A mortal who can raise his powers to the level of a god. Does that mean we have a warrior like that in Universe 6? As far as I remember and the information that I gained, the only ones who can manage to do that were the Saiyans of Universe 7. The ones that were in the Tournament of Power. Something's going on. Something strange is happening in this tournament. I want information about this Kakarot. Find out which region of the planet Sadala is he from. We need to have more information about his families.
At that moment, Vados, concerned, says,
Looks like things are going to get more complicated. If they really find out who you are, Mr. Goku, good luck. I hope you have a great luck beating Ares because it won't be an easy battle.
When Goku activates the Super Saiyan Blue, he sees that Ares had a completely different look on his face. It seems that the God of War was seeing that he had chances to be defeated. At that moment, a big laugh starts to emerge. Ares says,
Incredible! I never imagined that there would be such a powerful mortal in this universe! You are fantastic, Kakarot! But that's not enough! So, come on! I wanna dance!
At that moment, Ares increases his powers even more, and with a crazy look, he hits a big punch on Goku with Kaioken increased 20 times. Goku says,
This guy is incredible!
He's still struggling playing with me, even though I raised my powers even more. It seems that it wasn't an easy task to fight the God of War of Universe 6. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
I'm going to win!
Big impacts were happening in Universe 6. All Saiyans were impressed with what they're seeing. The Saiyan who just now everyone believed was a weak being and who had won the qualifying fights by sheer luck was fighting equally and even making the God of War Ares hesitate. Who is the Saiyan Kakarot who challenges even the gods? At that moment, Ares, with great mastery, started to land several blows on Goku. Even with his Super Saiyan Blue form elevated, he still feels a great pressure of energy. Goku says,
It seems like it was really crazy with normal techniques and finding a god like that. If I really show my powers, maybe someone will find out who I am. But I don't have a choice. The way it's going here,
If I don't do it, I'm done for. This guy, he's very strong, and I'm still sure he's not fighting with all his might.
Ares watches and says,
Good. It seems that you finally understand that you won't be able to defeat me with just that power, don't you? If you have any other skills, I think it would be time for you to use them. You're always like that? You analyze the enemies and then you don't defeat them. I think about it. If this is how you fight, you will surely be defeated with great ease by the Great War Emperor.
At that moment, Goku starts laughing and says,
You're pretty strong. I fought very powerful guys. Not long ago, I fought a warrior named Yami. He was probably stronger than you. In fact, I've never seen a mortal as strong as that guy.
At that moment, Ares says,
You know Yami? How did this guy even fight the 7th strongest warrior in the entire universes? He fought Yami and still managed to stand? Who is this guy anyway?
At that moment, Goku starts to raise his ki even more. As Goku increased his energy even more, the entire audience that was watching and not believing that a Saiyan could get stronger was watching everything that was happening. The audience said,
What do you mean? Can a Saiyan get that powerful? How can a Saiyan raise his strength to the level of a god? This is impossible. This warrior is a fraud.
At that moment, an angry Caulifla begins to speak.
Hey, you assholes! Stop talking like that! He is a Saiyan who is fighting for all of us! Just like you, he also has dreams and is here to prove and show his true strength! And his true worth.
The entire audience begins to observe for a few moments what Caulifla has to say. Caulifla concludes,
All this time, we've been under the tyranny of some gods of destruction. For all that time, we never had the opportunity to be able to hear and be heard. Every time we went up against the god of destruction eradicated a different planet. It seemed that we were cogs, just pawns to all of it. And we were mere idiots. And this time, the one who is fighting is the god of war who knows how to create a great catastrophe in everything he goes through. And a Saiyan who is fighting with his thoughts on our familiars. And on all of us. Who do you want to win? Who do you believe has the potential? If a Saiyan manages to raise his power even more and manages to equal his power to that of a god, it is because he must be chosen by all of us to be their next king. Let's believe in the level we ourselves are capable of. Mortals may yet rule everything one day.
At that moment, it seems that all the Saiyans resolved and understood what Caulifla was trying to say. All Saiyans realized that Goku, or rather Kakarot, was not the problem, but maybe the solution for times of peace and harmony for the warriors. Saiyans knew that King Sadala could do a good reign as a god of destruction, but King Sadala was not the one who was fighting for justice for all. So he was the one who was showing his true strength. The one who was impressing everyone with his fighting power was the Saiyan, that Saiyan, who until now was an unknown being. In a few moments, a scream is heard.
Come on, Kakarot! Let's go, Kakarot! We have faith in you! Kakarot! 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 Kakarot!
Everyone starts screaming. Frieza looks and says,
How insolent you Saiyans are! Just now they were shouting my name. Now they're screaming the name of that damn Son Goku. Well, it doesn't bother me. I'll finish them off in a blink of an eye.
At that moment, Goku fighting Ares activates his Ultra Instinct. Ares is impressed and says,
Now they're screaming your name, Kakarot.
At that moment, Goku fighting Ares activates his Ultra Instinct. Ares is impressed and says,
This guy manages to use the Ultra Instinct, the technique that even the gods of destruction have a hard time using. Who are you anyway?
At that moment, King Sadala appears and says,
Interesting fight, isn't it?
Goku looks at King Sadala and starts watching. Ares says,
That insolent being! You want to stop our fight! If you try to do something like that, I'll never forgive you!
At that moment, King Sadala says,
This is nothing more important. But we have a false classification here in this tournament. The Kakarot participant is actually Son Goku, the mortal who fought in the Tournament of Power and fought against Jiren. That warrior who had strength levels linked to a god of destruction. Goku barely defeated Jiren, but as much as the battle was gigantic, his universe managed to win and caused all the other universes to be brought back. We can't just forget that this Tournament of Power only appeared because Goku asked Zeno-sama for him to know the strength level of other warriors from other universes. A greedy thought and wish.
At that moment, Goku speaks.
No! I can't believe it! I'm unmasked! I got caught!
Cauliflower watches and says,
So King Sadala found out about everything!
Bakura says,
No! It can't be now! Damn it. What will happen?
all participants were watching. All participants start shouting, Goku, Goku, Goku! Win this fight, Goku! King Sadala starts to laugh and says,
It seems that no one cared about it. So if the audience doesn't care about what this fight is, keep going. Fight till the end.
At that moment, the tournament classifier observes and speaks.
If King Sadala authorized the continuation of the fight, then now the Kakarot participant, or better, Son Goku of Universe 7, continue fighting against Ares, the god of war!
Ares starts to raise his power more, and the whole ground starts to shake, and in little moments, the whole sky starts to darken. Ares says,
It is time to fight for real. If you have shown the Ultra Instinct mastered, now you realize you're fighting the god. And that will be your end, Son Goku!
Ultra Instinct, the technique that all the gods of destruction find it difficult to utilize. To perform Ultra Instinct, the user needs to have a lull in their body, having a total peaceful energy and at the same time a very sharp fighting instinct. Few mortals can perform this skill, but that Saiyan who was always prepared to fight and face challenges managed to reach this level of power. At that moment, we can see Goku with his eye Ultra Instinct fighting the God of War of Universe 6. It seems that the height of the struggle was coming to an end. Who will win this battle, Goku or Ares? All Saiyans were excited to see Goku battle. The mortal Universe 7 fighting Ares, the God of War. The king of the planet Sadala watched the fight and said,
I don't think I'll stay here watching this anymore. It seems I already know who will emerge victorious from here.
At that moment, Vados watched and said,
It seems you didn't care much about the warrior who fought in the Tournament of Power. It seems you didn't care much that the mortal who fought in the Tournament of Power is here in your universe. Isn't it, King Sadala?
At that moment, King Sadala says,
If he's here, then something must be going on. Strange things ended up happening. Champa, the god of destruction of this universe, and I heard that Liquid, Balmont were also eliminated. Don't tell me the elimination of these gods of destruction has something to do with this mortal.
Vados gets serious, but right after she smiles and says,
And only time will tell us.
And at that moment, King Sadala starts to smile with a completely different look from before and says,
Incredible. So for the first time, I will be able to fight someone so strong and show all my powers.
King Sadala will show his true Saiyan fighting instinct. What will be the true level of King Sadala? Back to Goku and Ares fight. Ares sees that Goku has raised his Ultra Instinct and advances to attack the Universe 7 Saiyan. Ares tries to throw several punches at Goku, but at the same time, he does not manage to land any blows.
Ares says, "This is impossible! How is he managing to escape the blows of the God of War? How is he managing to raise such a powerful energy? It doesn't make any sense! Just a few minutes ago he couldn't even match his movements with mine! Now he was showing totally different skills! How do you do that, Son Goku? You entered this tournament pretending to be another warrior, and now you are even getting the affection of all the participants! I will never forgive you! Never! This universe will be mine, and you will be defeated. I will become the new god of destruction and rule over everything."
At that moment, Goku, dodging all of Ares' attacks, begins to have a completely different look on his face. That Goku who was laughing throughout the battle and excited about the whole fight started to have a totally different perspective of the fight. Goku says, You, all this time said you were going to become the new god of destruction and make everyone just your dispatches and make everyone just watch whatever you're doing. Do you think I as a mortal will accept that? All Saiyans only live in quiet moments and try to do the best for their families and their people. Even the king of this planet, from what I understand, wants to bring calm and peace among everyone. And you, being the god of war, instead of thinking about having control over the wars, do you want the war to continue? You want to create people just so they can destroy others. That's why I became a real god killer. If a god wants to cause some intrigue, trouble, and wants to destroy some good family, I will finish off this god myself. I'll show you how to fight for real. If it's to break the heavenly rules to end some mistakes that are causing something against mortals, I'll do it. I am Son Goku from Universe 7, the true god killer. At that moment, Goku's countenance changes, and Goku charges directly at Ares and begins to launch several attacks at the God of War. Goku's Ultra Instinct form looked totally different. Goku was at his much higher power. Caulifla says,
This is amazing! It looks like Mr. Goku is totally different than when he first showed his powers to me, and is managing to elevate his form to a much greater level. Is this the true power of Lord Goku? So he was playing with me all this time? Wait, he was playing with me all this time? You miserable old man! You're going to teach me how to fight like that. I need to get stronger.
At that moment, Bakura says, This is amazing. Even though Ares has totally high powers, Lord Goku's powers managed to get much stronger. All this that is happening makes it seem like the God of War is a mere child, afraid of a mortal who ended up surpassing his powers. No one believes what they're seeing. No one is believing. Neither am I. Goku increased his powers more and more. Ares was scared to death and says,
No, damn it, that can't happen. You are not human, you're not mortal. You are the slayer of gods. I don't believe you. I won't let you kill me. I won't let you beat me. Deadly sphere of destruction. Supreme strike of the God of War.
The moment Ares energizes his great burst of energy, the tournament classifier says, It looks like Ares, the God of War, is getting ready to deliver his final blow! At that moment, Goku stands in the sky, flying like a shining star, and says,
Now this will be your end. Let's get this over with. Kame! Kame!
Just as Goku launches a big Kamehameha, the blow collides with Ares, and Ares yells,
I'm going to beat you, Son Goku! You'll never be able to do anything against me!
At that moment, Goku starts laughing and says, Even though you're an enemy, you really were strong. It seems that after my fight against Mr. Beerus, I found Yami. Those battles made my powers increase even more. I think I have to thank them. If it weren't for this fight, maybe I wouldn't be able to beat you. Goodbye, Ares. I hope that one day we meet in another universe. At that moment, Goku destroys the entire body of the God of War in their fight. Ares is completely knocked out of existence by Goku. The classifier and the other warriors couldn't believe their eyes. Goku, the mortal of Universe 7, emerged victorious. Frieza says. Frieza laughs. The classifier says, for a giant turn in the battle, the victor is Son Goku! Goku at that moment deactivates his Ultra Instinct transformation and says, looks like I won. King Sadala smiles and says,
Soon we will start.
Goku, with all his power, was victorious in this battle against the God of War, Ares. All the Saiyans had started rooting for Goku to win the battle against the God of War. It seemed that for a while, Goku was being recognized by all the other Saiyans that he could be the salvation not only for the planet, but also for the entire universe. That mortal who started the tournament fighting just to get to speak with King Sadala was now being glorified by all other Saiyans to become the new God of Destruction. Goku being a God killer, would he accept becoming the new God of Destruction? Goku grew stronger as he used his God killer energy powers. But even more challenges await the spiky-haired Saiyan. Goku walks out of the arena with his body all bruised up and says, this fight was great! This guy's really strong! If it weren't from my past fights, I certainly wouldn't have been able to defeat that guy! A God of War, huh? Does that mean that there are several other types of God that are here in these universes? Aren't they just gods of destruction? They aren't, right? I hadn't even thought about it. It could be that these things can get even more complicated, right? Strange that each God of destruction has a different goal. It seems that each one wants to make his reign as if he were going to create his own rules. I wonder, what does Zeno-sama and the High Priest are thinking in the midst of all this? Palace of the Zeno-sama. Zeno-sama starts talking to Daishi-kun and says,
Oh, Daishi-kun, have you noticed how Goku manages to get so much stronger after all this time? His God Killer powers are definitely getting bigger. With each passing battle, he manages to show us an even growing spectacle.
Daishi-kun starts watching smiling and says, indeed, the performance that Mr. Goku is showing is increasingly intense, Mr. Zeno-sama. 3 gods of destruction cease to exist. It seems that soon we will have very drastic changes in the universal rules. Zeno-sama's guards begin to observe everything that was happening. Note, whenever gods of destruction or gods of creation are eradicated, breaches in the celestial rules end up being created. Whenever a god of destruction was eradicated, his palace was vacant and another extremely strong warrior ended up entering his place. In this way, a looping storm was created. When gods of destruction run out of control, extremely strong warriors who are the slayers of gods end up appearing. And with that, they become increasingly powerful, having their targets to eliminate gods of destruction. Zeno-sama only interferes in a universe when he realizes that that universe no longer has the salvation that it needs. If another warrior proves to be worthy of being a god of destruction, he has a meeting alongside the great priest and Zeno-sama to prove his powers. But for this to happen, the other celestial entities need to agree with everything that has been happening. Zeno-sama says,
Goku is very strong. I can feel his energy in Universe 6. He has already fought very powerful guys. The tournament between Universe 7 and Universe 6 was really amazing, Daishi-kun. Do you remember? He managed to fight Hit, who at the same time was the assassin of Universe 6. Hit was sent to silently eliminate several extremely strong generals. And with that, he managed to be considered one of the most powerful warriors in his entire universe. Everyone was surprised to see that Hit, who was thousands of years old, found it very difficult to fight Goku when he turned his hair blue and his body red. It was as if he had increased his power so many times that he could not withstand such pressure from that power. Goku at the same time already surprised Champa, who was the god of destruction of Universe 6. Goku at the same time had already surprised Champa, who was the god of destruction of Universe 6. Now Goku himself has managed to surpass Champa himself.
Daishikan starts to laugh and says, I need to be careful, otherwise soon he will want to surpass even the angels. Within this universe, there are extremely powerful beings. From what I could see, Yami, the 7th most powerful mortal in the universe of the Rajin race, even fought against Son Goku and managed to show monstrous energy. It was not clear who could have come out with a victory. Just because Son Goku managed to fight the 7th most powerful in the universes is already a sign that after he became a god killer, his skills increased exponentially. Well, Seno-sama, let's wait until the time comes for some interception. Planet Earth. Gohan and Piccolo performed their training and went straight to Kami-sama's temple. Gohan says, Mr. Piccolo, I'm sure we'll get much stronger from now on. With our new powers, training inside the time chamber will make our energies increase even more. I feel that a great catastrophe can still happen. We don't know how this journey of my father will result. It seems that messing with the gods can trigger something much more complicated. I will grow stronger to protect the Earth with all my might. At that moment, Dende appears in front of Gohan and Piccolo and says, hello Gohan-san, Piccolo-san, have you come to visit us here? At that moment, just feeling the energy of Gohan and Piccolo, Dende had been scared, realizing that the powers of the two were on another level of strength. Dende says in his mind, what an incredible power is being emanated by all of them. Did they manage to get much stronger even after they fought so max? Is this the real power of Mr. Gohan and Mr. Piccolo? Gohan says, hey Dende, we need to know if it's possible to train at a time chamber now. I'm sure Mr. Piccolo and I can get much stronger, much more powerful to be able to save everyone here on Earth. In my father's absence, of course. At that moment, Dende smiles and says, I don't know if that would be possible now, Mr. Gohan and Mr. Piccolo. Right now, there's another person training there. Gohan and Piccolo are surprised. Gohan questions, Huh? Who's training there? Dende. At that moment, a great shudder takes place in the temple of the Kami-sama. Gohan and Piccolo are startled by the great shudder that occurs. Gohan says, what monstrous energy is that? Piccolo says,
I know this key.
At that moment, Dende observes and says, looks like he finished training. At that moment, the time chamber explodes and Vegeta Ultra Ego appears with his extremely high power level. Vegeta Ultra Ego says,
What are you doing here, Kakarot Swarm? The great Vegeta has completed his training. As soon as I find Kakarot, I will show him that the great Vegeta is the most powerful of all. My Ultra Ego reached a level never seen before! Ha 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 ha!
Vegeta finally finishes his training. While Goku is in Universe 6, increasing his powers in the fight against the gods, the Z Warriors continue to train. It seems that somehow the Z Fighters know that the path of a god killer can bring even greater complication to the universes. What will Goku do in the midst of all this? Planet Kaio. Lord Kaio begins to observe all the changes that are happening in space and time, and he had noticed that 3 extremely powerful beings had arrived at the entrance of the dead and were talking to Emma Dio. Lord Kaio says,
Very strange. What is happening? I can no longer feel Goku's energy in Universe 7. His energy is directly concentrated in Universe 6. Now he's being named a God Killer, but apparently he's only attacking the gods of destruction. Despite that, if you think about it, if he was going to attack the other gods too, he would be doing something like Majin Buu. Just thinking that Majin Buu destroyed several planets and wanted to create the greatest catastrophe. All the Kaioshin gods were eradicated by the demon Majin Buu. This makes us have to reflect on what a being with extremely high powers is capable of doing. But if you think about it, Majin Buu was a demon. In this case, Goku has a totally different rationale. After all, he himself defeated Majin Buu to save the Earth and all the universe. I'm getting so confused. Goku, what are you up to eradicating the gods?
Universe 6. After Goku has fought Ares and defeated him, the break for the final fight for the Tournament of Destruction would be one day. Goku will fight Frieza. Since Frieza has reached his black form, his powers have been immeasurable. No one knows how far his strength is limited. Once Frieza easily defeated, Goku and Vegeta in their strongest forms of Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego. But now, Goku reached the God Killer stage, and Vegeta the second stage of Ultra Ego. A great battle will still begin. Goku is in the recovery room eating like there's no tomorrow. Caulifla is eating at an average pace though, while Bakura is eating at a much slower rate than Goku and Caulifla. Bakura starts watching and speaks. You two are eating very little. What? How are you eating so much? Even though you're Saiyans, you're eating too much. It seems that your stomachs are endless. Goku says, I'm starving. Ever since I started fighting Mr. Beerus, then Yami, and even Ares, I didn't have food as delicious as this. Hey, send me more food. Talking with her mouth full.
So your secret is to eat a lot, isn't it, old man? I'll show you that I'll get stronger than you by eating more than you. Send more food here too.
Bakura says, what the hell are you two doing? You're going to be sick. Meanwhile, on the B side of the classifiers, we see Frieza with a crazy smile and say, that miserable son Goku managed to win the fight against the god too. That means he's now called the God Killer, the true killer of gods. It reminds me of every scrumptious attitude he's had since I met him. From the beginning, I always pushed my powers to extreme levels. Frieza sits on a bench and begins to reflect. Flashbacks to years ago. Frieza has been by his father's side for years on his ship. King Cold says, my son, Saiyans are extremely funny beings, aren't they? Even though they are totally inferior beings, we can still wonder about the powers they have to show. Sometimes I don't know if it's my mistake, but I always imagine that they could be much more powerful than all of the beings of other races. This race is really strange. They have tails. These tails. This way of transforming themselves into giant apes when looking at the moon. I cannot understand all that is happening. It seems that they are like primate warriors that have always been evolving. Just like our race that has always been evolving. It seems that the only race that can keep up with us and reach unimaginable levels is the race of these primates. At that moment, Frieza looks with an angry look at King Cold and says,
Are you trying to say that these useless, insolent Saiyans are superior to us?
King Cold looks and speaks. No. On the contrary, son. Frieza watches and says,
My father, don't worry about it. I am your heir, and better, the emperor of the entire universe. And I already know exactly what we must do to end all of this. These Saiyans, from what I can understand, are a great threat to all of us. We will never be defeated by all of them. We have a giant army. I, the great Frieza, will eradicate one by one in this race until the moment there's nothing left.
At that moment, King Cold is looking at Frieza, trying to understand why he would attack that race that always provided services to Frieza's army. Frieza responds,
These Saiyans are insolent beings, and I'll never forgive them for just existing!
Frieza starts smiling and laughing at the same time. Times pass, and Frieza destroyed the Saiyans' planet. Back to current times. Frieza, after having his reflection, concludes.
I had managed to accomplish practically all my goals until you appeared. The Saiyan race was practically eradicated, but you appeared. You started to cause the biggest catastrophe alongside your idiot friends. That son of a bitch of yours attacked Dodoria. Then the miserable Vegeta eliminated Dodoria and Zarbon. Afterwards, even the Genio Force were eradicated by them. But worst of all was you. None of them were a match for me. But you dared to defy the Emperor of the Universe. And that was the first time I was defeated. In the beginning, your powers didn't come close to me. But as time went by, you got stronger through the fight. That spirit bomb technique almost killed me. And so everything just got worse. But I would never accept it, so I came back, stronger, until that damn son of Vegeta cut me in half and eradicated me! As if that wasn't enough, when I came back again, you with that Super Saiyan Blue transformation ended up defeating me again! Son Goku! Now, I will completely destroy you, Son Goku. Nothing of you will be left with my Black Frieza form. I am the Emperor, the true Emperor of the universe, and I will make you pay for everything you have done to me one day. And I will become the new god of destruction of this universe. This will be just the beginning of the Great Frieza!
To be continued. Will Frieza finally get his chance to get revenge on the Saiyans and make Planet Sadala his new planet Vegeta? What is Frieza really aiming for? Hey! So what do you believe and what do you imagine about all of this? Regardless of what it is more than important that you arrive exposing it in your comments so that we can enter into the crazy debate. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe here to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss any videos. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.